Be a dreamer. Be the kind of person who wakes up and says, let's go. When life tries to say not today, be the kind of person that says, I'll find a way. Be a dreamer. Set big goals. Plan to succeed. When sport or life knocks you down, get back up, find your feet, and fight back. Dream big. Don't let anxiety, fear, or the road ahead scare you. Swap, I can't, I'm too fat, I don't have time, I'm too old, with I'll try. Watch me. I'll give it a go. Let me see if I can, and if I can't, I'll find a way. It takes one step. I have failed so many times. Fail, fail, fail. I get back up, I start again. One step at a time, one day at a time, one obstacle at a time, and before you know it, you're living the dream. Your dream. What are you waiting for? Good luck.
Alright guys, job done. If you haven't noticed, I'm out of breath. Okay, I'm in Portugal. I'm at an Under Armour event. This is the release of the new super shoe, the Velocity Elite. But today we've got an easy run this morning. We're going to get the easy run done and then we go to the track, and I've got a tough session where you're going to see me
fair breathing a bit.
And hopefully if you keep watching, I'll get through that session and you can guess what my lactate might be at the end of that session. Hard 400s on the track. It's hot, it's fast, but Portugal is lovely. What a setting. Enjoy the video.
Okay guys, so welcome. I'm here, I'm in the Algarve in Faro in Portugal. I'm here to talk about running. I'm here to talk about running with you guys, but I'm also here with Under Armour to talk all things running, shoes, new shoes coming, and that's very exciting. But we're here to talk about perhaps the best training that you could do to move things forward, but it's not the type of training you can do all the time. And so that's why it's taken me 6-7 weeks into this, coming back to try to make the Paris Olympics, before I even talk about this type of training. Because I've not been doing it. You build the body up, you get it to a position where it's ready, and then you do some of this, call it the secret sauce, but it's short-lived. You don't get benefits over a long period of time, but it's very, very good at moving the fitness forward. It's called V02 MAX training. V02 MAX is the area of the body when you're running along and you're getting out of breath, your legs start to feel tired, you're starting to struggle, and you basically cannot get enough oxygen in and use it to keep the legs and the body moving forward. That's your VO2 max. It's your ceiling almost. If running had a ceiling, your VO2 max sits at the top of that ceiling. If you move that ceiling upwards, well, of course your potential moves forward. And so what we're trying to do on a day like a VO2 max day is move our ceiling upward so that our range and our room for success is bigger. It's that simple. Today, what I'm doing is I do a run in the morning. It's a bit of a shakeout run. I did 9 kilometers and that was a lovely run. It was with a group of guys that were also here for the Under Armour event. Big crowd, bit of a warm up, some drills, some stretching. Off we go, out for the run, nice and easy. This is just to get the body almost like a little bit warmed up in the morning, and it gives you all day to have a little bit of food, get your food right, get your nutrition right. If you haven't checked it out, check out the glucose, the nutrition for runners. When you're doing a hard session like this, it's important that you're eating at the right times. It's a lot easier to eat at the right times for an afternoon session than it is getting up at 6 a.m. to eat 3 hours before a session at 9 a.m. Super simple. We get the day started with that nice easy run. It sets the tone for the day. Sadly for me, it gives me time to get nervous about this harder session later in the day. V02 Max sessions are hard. Don't be surprised that you don't get a little bit anxious, a little bit nervous. Will I be able to push? I'm not sure. Will it go well? Don't worry. You're there to just get a job done. You're there to just move your VO2 onwards. You don't have to go flat out, and we'll get to that. We go to the track in the afternoon. I do a 2K easy jog warm-up followed by a 2K with a harder pace to get the body moving a bit more and warmer before I start the VO2 work. So it's 2K easy, then I do my usual drills. There's a warm-up routine. You can check it out. It's either on YouTube or if you go to joggingroom.com, full warm-up routine, start to include it. 2K easy, warm-up routine, drills, stretches. Then I move into some light strides. After strides, that's when I'm doing my final activation, some plyometric drills, and then I begin the 2K at. The 2K is kind of around like upper end of threshold. I've heaps of threshold videos, you can check that out. The purpose of doing the 2K today is so that we're not going from the easy jog warm-up straight into VO2 max intervals. The pace is going to be way too different. You're looking at 7 to 7:30 per mile for the warm-up, and then you're looking at 4:10 to 4:20 per mile for the VO2 max intervals. That's too big a pace change. The body won't like that. That increases injury risk, and it's not what we want. It also adds 2K of volume at a good intensity that will move me forward. So I do the 2K, 5:58 for 2K. I come back, I check the lactate number. It wasn't super important that I checked that lactate number, but because I was running at 3 minutes per K, just under 3 minutes per K, I was very curious where that lactate number is. If you follow the channel and you're following this, come back to try to make the Paris Olympics, I need to see the lactate at 3 minutes per K come down to probably 2, around that, and it was 5. That's still quite a chunk away from where it needs to be. Now, it wasn't a test. I'm obviously tired. I've been working here at the event. If you watch my previous video, I had just done a double session Saturday and Sunday, so you're not fresh. So it's not the kind of test that says, oh my goodness, you're a million miles away, but it is a test all the same. It means that in 3 weeks' time, if I've been training hard, because I will be for the Paris Olympics, and I do a 2K on the track, and I run 6 minutes, and I check my lactate, and it's 4.2, I know that things have moved forward. It's not a in the lab test, but it's enough to let us see where are things at, how are things going. But because of the double session and the work stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if even in 2 days' time or 3 days' time, with things a little bit easier, I could probably go to a track and it might already be 4 or perhaps under 4. Remember, there's a lesson in there that not every session will go to its maximum capabilities because it depends on life, work, stress, sleep, nutrition, all the stuff you've been doing around running. And so don't be surprised if you do a tempo session on Monday and you come back the following Tuesday, 8 days have gone by, and maybe you're slower. But maybe your weekend was a lot busier. Maybe your family life was tougher. Maybe there was stress at work. It doesn't always just go up. Sometimes there's peaks and valleys. After that little bit of threshold, I jump into my 400s. I'm doing 12 times 400s at roughly 3K to 5K pace, and I'm running them pretty hard. It's hot, I'm running them hard, my breathing is really starting to work. What I'm looking to do is I didn't focus so much on the time, I just wanted to get into a rhythm that I knew was fairly hard, but not my hardest, if that makes sense. So you're pushing, you're not holding back, you're pushing, but you know I'm not straining. I'm still in control. And if I needed to go a couple of seconds quicker each rep, not one rep, a couple of seconds quicker for each rep for the entire session, I could. And that's what's so important. You're not trying to do this at your hardest or fastest. You're just trying to do a good session, and that's enough to move the VO2 forward. The recovery is 60 seconds, 200-meter jog. Obviously, if you're not running 64, 65 for the 400s like I am, then you don't need to run 60 seconds for the 200-meter jog. I'm running 420 per mile and then 8 minutes per mile. And so for the recovery. And so you might be able to go, if your pace for the 3K type effort is, for argument's sake, 90 seconds, well then you might be slowing that 200-meter jog down quite a bit, maybe to 90 seconds. You're matching perhaps the 400-meter time. And what it does is, when it starts to get a bit tougher and you're starting to get a bit tired and you have to do that 200-meter jog, it keeps things moving. And it's easy to just stand there for a minute, but it actually gets quite tough to have to jog that 200 meters and then go again. Jog that 200 meters, go again. It far more replicates race day. On race day, we don't get these opportunities to just stand there and collect ourselves and then get going again. Race day is very much get on it. So start to look to add some of this VO2 stuff into your training. I would say once every 2 weeks, you can add some VO2 type training. I will also add that over a 8-week schedule, which is 4 sessions, you'll notice quite a lot of improvement. Once you get to week 10, week 12, and that'll be your 5th session, your 6th session, the improvements aren't as big. And so that's why timing is quite important, that you don't want to add this stuff in too early because the improvements don't keep happening. So build a nice foundation. When you're 8 to 10 weeks out from maybe a 5K or 10K, start to add in your VO2. Maybe every 10 days, that gives you enough time to get 6 to 8 sessions done, and your VO2 will be primed and as good as it can basically get by the time that race comes around. Then all you need to do is a session maybe once every 2 weeks to maintain that good VO2. But don't replace one of the important sessions that you've already been doing. In my schedule, this VO2 work is extra. And so now, maybe a 10 to 12 day schedule has to move to 12 to 14 days because we've added in that extra, but very, very good training stimulus to help move things forward. I love doing the VO2 stuff. I get super nervous about it. I get anxious about it, but I love doing it because I know how much it's going to move me forward. If you're watching the channel, just wait and see. Wait and see when I do my next threshold type session in a week or two's time. Once I've sort of got the benefits of today, sometimes it takes 7 to 10 days. Watch in 7 to 10 days or even 2 weeks, we'll see threshold move forward, the aerobic power session move forward, and you'll know, nice. It's because we tapped into that VO2, we lifted that ceiling, and it gave us a little boost.
Alright guys, job done. If you haven't noticed, I'm out of breath. Let's go check the lactate. Alright, job done. I am sweating, like I mean proper sweating. Lactate was 8.1, which is good. That's pretty much what you want. The other day when I did the testing and did the 60 seconds, sorry, really hard after, it went up to like 12, 13, but that's when I wanted to really see where that max can go. Today is supposed to be difficult, but not out of control. Trying to run fast, trying to run hard, but not out of control. That was 2K, around 5:58, the lactate was 5, and then I did 12 400s with 60 seconds jog, 200 meters. It was actually supposed to be 15, but I miscounted the 400s, and for some reason I thought 15 times 60 equals 15, plus 15 times 60 recovery is 30, but I forgot about the 2K. So I was relying on 30 minutes being the total, but that's completely fine. 2K, 5:58, 12 400s in 64, 65, 200 meter jog recovery in 60 seconds. Job well done. 8 millimoles of lactate. Another brilliant day. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all those lovely things. Take care.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me so far. Do me a favor and go and check out all the tips, courses, running advice at joggingroom.com. 60 hours worth of tips, 60 hours worth of training routines, recovery techniques, better sleep, better nutrition, better gym. Go check it out. You won't be disappointed. If you want to take your running to that next level, that's a great place to start. There's a marathon plan, a 10K plan. The Running Masterclass is undoubtedly the best resource online for better running tips. Perhaps if your race results haven't been moving forward, check that out. You will not be disappointed. How to train, when to train, and how to do it the right way to get the most benefits.